Okay, welcome back. Now it's time to cover the if statement. Also, on the last tutorial, I mentioned strings, numbers, and classes, and somehow neglected to mention booleans. What a boolean is true or false. Is it or is it not? A lot of times you can actually conceive these as a computer's decisions between 1 and 0, almost on a binary level, but no need to think about all that stuff. So let's go ahead and create a boolean here. We're going to call this boolean happy. And we're going to go ahead and say happy equals false on that. Okay, now we're going to start our first if block. So we're going to basically say if the variable happy equals true, then we're going ahead and set the message to that. Else, otherwise, if it's not happy, which would be the false variable, would fall into the scope of function here. Now here, just to continue off of the attribute one, I am going to explain what a local is here. So we're going to start a local variable, and we're going to call this one not happy message using Campbell notation, which basically means starts with small and then big and big. It's basically so you can read each word in it to be able to read it as a sentence. And for this message, I'm going to say, this world sucks. There we go. All right, and for this, I'm going to go ahead and set the message here. So let's go ahead and copy that whole thing, Control C, and then Control V. But instead of the message variable, which is global up top, we're going to use the local variable. In there. All right, basically what the scope means is, say we tried to put this whole line out of end down there. That's out of its scope. What the scope means is it's between the right here, the else and the end. It only exists there. As soon as it hits end, that attribute no longer exists at that point. Versus up here, like with the message can be picked up anywhere, even in the scope within this first true statement here. Okay, so that should be a basic one. Also, just for instance, to show you an example, say if happy was, for instance, a number and happy equaled 1, then we'd have some stuff there that would happen. And then say you would have the else. If it doesn't equal 1, basically, would be your next one. Well, sometimes you want more than just two cases within the if statement. So within Lua, we call these else ifs, and that's literally one word there. And then within that block, oh, sorry, I forgot to put in a variable. If else if happy equals 2, then as you can see that down here, it did pick up an error. It knew something was wrong there. And now we go, no errors found. So if happy equals 1, it would come into here. If happy equals 2, it would go into there. If it was any number other than those ones, which would be basically the else, it would go within there. I just wanted to show you how the else if worked into it, because it is a very powerful thing to have. You don't want to have to write an if block for every single case that would come up. So you basically have these else if statements, and this can go on and on and on. Else if this, else if that, and it doesn't always have to be happy. It could be else if the sun is green. I don't know, whatever. All right, and okay, let's go back to what we were doing on the top one. I'm going to go ahead and erase that. It's just for explanation reasons. So right now we got the variable happy set to false. So this script's going to run through, initialize all the visual stuff, and it's going to come in here. If happy, well, the happy, like I said, equals false. So it's going to hit this one. This world sucks is a message it's going to post here. Let's go ahead and test that, and then I'll go ahead and switch this to true, and then show how it shows the normal message. I'll do that, hit the test button. And there you go, you have the new message there. Alright, let's go ahead and close that out. And like I said, let's go up here and go ahead and make this the true variable. And go ahead and hit the test button. And this is going to go back to our old message, hello world, I am an attribute. And there we go. There's that one. And the next tutorial, we're going to discuss functions.